Thanks for clicking on Millennium Movement. Today we have Till Gross, an expert speaker and a TED Talk speaker. He talks on keys to success and also about his company, the Comfort Zone Crusher. So, hi, welcome.
Hey, and first of all, thank you for having me and thanks for bringing me on. I'm very excited.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I first found Till when I was searching for confidence and TED Talks combined, and his video was one of the first to populate, and so I watched it, loved it, and he also has a challenge in his TED Talks of what you should do to build your confidence. So we'll let Till share about that. All right, Till, how did you start your company?
How I started the company, so before I started the company, I studied psychology, and I used to work as a coach in probably like 7 years now. And I would give workshops and talks and all these kind of things in the offline world. And at one point, basically what happened was that the demand in the offline world was just so big at one point I couldn't serve all the people anymore. And then they literally asked me like, hey, can you start a company? And also this, because we're talking about advice, I think that's one of the best ways to start a company. When people ask you and demand from you that you start your company, I think that's the right time to start a company. And that's basically what happened to me. I had so many offline clients and I would just want to serve more people. And then out of this necessity, this need, that's when I created Comfort Zone Crusher.
That is so cool. So Till has a really good challenge for all of those of you who want to bust out of your comfort zone. And it is an internet sensation and phenomenon. People across the entire world are doing it, from Europe to America to many other countries. So Till, what is this challenge if you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, so at the beginning it started off with me basically scratching my own itch, and I was already doing my thing in the world, but there were still some moments where I would get insecure or shy, or fear would stop me and hold me back from doing certain things. And then I tried to figure out, all right, how can I overcome those fears? And interestingly, it was a funny coincidence because I stumbled upon my first Comfort Zone challenge in Tim Ferriss' 4-Hour Workweek, and he talks about the lay down challenge, where you just lay down on the floor for 30 seconds, and thereby you see that, number one, most of the people don't even care at all what you do, and the people that do care maybe look around, look at you while laying on the floor, think that you're crazy. It doesn't matter that much, And then after I've done my first challenge, I really dug into the psychology behind it, and there's something called exposure therapy, which basically is the most effective way to overcome your fears and deal with insecurities. And so then basically what I did next was I combined the fun, playful aspect of Comfort Zone challenges, as I found in Tim Ferriss' book, and then combined with the really research in psychology and behind exposure therapy, combined those two things, made it a bit more deliberate, a bit more specific. And then, probably the biggest challenge is that we have people do is the lay down challenge. We just go to a public place and you just lay down on the floor for 30 seconds. And in order to learn that, number one, most people don't care what you do, and most people don't even pay attention to what you do. And even when people judge you or look at you, it won't kill you, and it's not as uncomfortable as you might expect.
That is so true. And I've actually done this challenge at the gym before.
At the gym?
And no one cared.
Oh! Have you sent it one of your photos?
Yes, I did.
You know what? So for the people listening, we have, at this point, we have over 20,000 people that are exactly part of the core community, and we have 50, 100,000 people around the world who've done those challenges. And the funny thing is, probably I don't remember a lot of pictures, but some pictures remember, and I think I do remember your picture.
Definitely, and it helped me break out of my comfort zone. So good.
Let me test this. Were you wearing pink shoes?
What shoes was I wearing? They were orange and magenta.
I think I know your picture. I think I do know your picture.
Cool. Well, for all of you guys watching this video out there, you should definitely try this Comfort Zone Crusher challenge, because you do feel like $1 million after you walk away from it. Well, cool. So, Till, what are your keys to success? Because your company has grown and grown and grown, and there are a lot of people that are just magnetized towards this Facebook group, towards the online content, and towards the TED Talks video. There's something that's just magnetized about it. How would you say that you built this up with your keys to success?
There's a great book, which I'm a big fan of, and this is Cal Newport's So Good They Can't Ignore You. And that's probably my philosophy. Like, whenever I do something, I try to do it as good as possible. and I'd rather take my time doing certain things. Like for example, the business, I could have started it way earlier, but maybe wouldn't have been that successful. And I waited to this point where really was so good that I knew if I would start something, people would come. And that's basically my approach to a lot of things in life, that I just become so good at something that it just draws people in. And this is not in like a self-congratulating way or like in an arrogant way. This is more like based on like a more craftsmanship mindset way, where I basically what I do is I just again and again just look at, okay, like what is this core skill that I want to become really good at? Try to become so as good as possible at this very skill. In my case, this is for example coaching. It's understanding complex psychology concepts and making them as easily understandable as possible. So this is probably my key to success. Just become fucking good at whatever you do.
I think that's a great strategy. So for all you people watching this, write this down. Just become great at what you do. Emphasize on the capital F. Well, cool. So Till, what is your spirit animal? I have to toss in a fun question.
My spirit animal. That's a deep question. That's a deep question. A panther?
That's cool.
Probably a panther.
That's cool. Very stealthy and smart, agile in business. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, neat.
Let's stick with a panther, yeah.
Panthers.
What is yours?
I would say a deer, because they're so graceful and they're good listeners and they're kind of cool. They could jump.
I don't know why. I thought you would say a lion.
Well, I like lions too. Lions are cool, you know. I like lions as well. It's on my LinkedIn profile background. Got a lion on it.
There you go. I sensed something there, yeah.
Well, cool. So how do you start your day? Do you have a miracle morning?
So it always changes. But recently I was started to follow my routine again because I came back from a lot of traveling, a lot of changes in my life. So I have a pregnant wife at the moment. So yeah. So when I do sleep, when she lets me sleep, I go to bed at 11. I think that's the start for a routine. Going bed early. Go to bed at 11. Get up at 7. I get up and I just shower, and then I'm out of the house like 10 minutes later. So I try to leave the house. I feed the animals, and then get out of the house as fast as possible. And then I'm in the office probably 7:20. My office is right next door. My office, by the way, right on Hollywood Boulevard. So in front of my office is the Walk of Fame, all those stars. And so right when I get into the office, I sit down, I meditate for 10 minutes. I use Headspace to meditate 10 minutes. Then I actually, one of my followers actually recently sent me the 5-minute journal. And so I'm using the 5-minute journal. So I'm sitting down, do my 5-minute journal. Then I get out my real big journal, and then I just probably write for like 2 to 3 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, depending on how much I want to do. And then I sit down, then I open my laptop for the first real time, unless I already journaled before. So I open up my laptop, and then I start. For 1.5 to 2 hours, I do deep work. I do deep work. This means I do stuff like writing blog articles, doing copywriting, doing some really deep thinking, where I really need to focus and really need to be very concentrated. And then as soon as I'm done with this, it's probably like 9 a.m. 9 a.m. I usually have, for example, today, I usually have at 9 a.m. I have my first coaching clients. And then I do coaching, and then I try, unless I have something like we're having right now, I try to not check my emails or my Facebook at least until like 2 p.m. or something. Today was different because I had to communicate with you. But other than that, I try to stay away from email and Facebook as long as possible, because I want to be active and not reactive to whatever is happening around me. And you can be as focused as you want. When you open your email, you start to become reactive. So for this reason, I try to stay away from this as long as possible. And then I don't eat breakfast, as you maybe just have heard, because I didn't mention it. And then I probably have my first meal around this time now, 12. After we're going to finish this talk, I'm going to have my first meal, which is probably going to my wife cook for me. So I took lunch with me to the office. It's going to be salmon, rice, and some veggies. I forgot what it was. So that's basically what my day looks like.
Sounds like a healthy lunch and a good start to the day. So what is the 5-minute journal? Do you write positive affirmations, gratitude, business goals? Do you write those out? What are some of your strong affirmations?
3 gratitudes. You write down 3 things you're grateful for. Here's the important thing. I listened to a Sean Aker interview once where he talks about that not only write down what you're grateful for, say why you're grateful for it. That makes it more intense. So write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Then I'll write down 3 things that would make this day amazing. And then I'll write 1 positive affirmation, even though I'm not too big on the whole affirmation stuff. But I still write it down because it's in the book, so I just do it.
That's cool. Affirmations are so powerful and strong. Let's see if there is one strong key factor other than the comfort zone crusher challenge that you could leave our audience with. What is something that will help boost your esteem, that you can achieve your goals? What is a key power affirmation that you could leave our audience with?
Not necessarily affirmation, but something I would encourage you to do is, so if you look at the science of confidence, so confidence basically that if you know something happens or if you are in a certain situation, you are able to deal with it. That's what confidence is, right? Let's say you're up on stage. The reason why you're anxious because you're not sure if you can handle it. You know if you can control the situation. So it's very tightly knit to self-efficacy. So being able to know that when I set out to do something, I'm able to do it. So I think one of the great ways to build self-confidence is set yourself a tiny, small goal. With my coaching clients, we often do things like, I'm not going to check my phone until 9 a.m. or I'm not going to check my email until 10 a.m. or I'm going to have 1 glass of water every single day before 8 a.m. You know, something super, super small. And then commit yourself to do it for 2 weeks and then do it for 2 weeks. And this is probably one of the biggest, best confidence booster you can get, because you can start to trust yourself. You know, you can start to have confidence in your own commitments because you know when you set out to do something, you actually go ahead and execute and you do it. So yes, do comfort zone challenge. This is like the external part, the outward focused part of confidence. And the other one is commit yourself to do something for 2 weeks, something small, and then just execute on this relentlessly. And then from there, go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that's one of the best ways to build confidence.
I think that's wonderful, building those habits. That's really cool. You know, I'm going to try that. Drink a glass of water before breakfast every morning. I'm a breakfast fan. But yes, that is amazing. You know, I'm going to try that actually. So Till, for the people out there watching, what are good ways to connect with you on social media? Like your Facebook group or your fan page? What are some great ways they can connect with you?
I really don't do much social media at all. But the best way is go to comfortzonecrusher.com. And then people can sign up for a free first 7-day comfort zone challenge. For 7 days, every second day, you get a video of a comfort zone challenges. So I demonstrate those different challenges. You can see me first, which can be quite entertaining. And then you can go out and do the challenge on your own. And also, whenever we send out emails, simply reply to one of those emails. I do read every single email that my readers send me. I'm just not that active on social media. So reaching out by email is probably one of the best ways to get in touch with me.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your keys to success and sharing your time. And we hope all the people watching this video, this is helpful. So we'll see you next time, millennials.